Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on a Lockdown Wednesday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go across to the other side of the country who are in a better position than we are here in Melbourne at the moment because we're going over to Perth in particular. And just the weekend just gone, actually, because the Perth Football League had their grand finals, and especially in the women's side of things. And for this team in particular, the West Coast Tigers, of course, they won a heart-stopping grand final, winning by 7 points in the low-scoring game, 15-8 at the end of that game. And of course, we've got two very special guests joining us right now to tell us all about it. Thanks both of you for joining us.
No worries.
Thanks for having us.
I'll get both of you to introduce yourselves and what position both of you played on grand final day.
Hi, I'm Liz. I'm one of the co-captains of the team, and I play in the back line, mainly across the half back line. So, yeah, flank and centre back.
My name's Em. I'm the other co-captain, and on the weekend I played wing and a little bit of half forward.
Watching your game on live stream on the day, it seemed to be a pretty tough game against Hills Rangers. And obviously the scoreboard showed it at the end. It was a pretty low-scoring game with 3 goals scored combined. Tell us, how tough was it out there on the field on, by looks of it, a pretty good playing day?
Yeah, it was pretty tough. I know being in the back line, it's kind of my job to be like, keep them scoreless, and we were pretty proud that we kept the highest scoring team to like only 1 goal, which was probably the lowest scoring game of the whole season. But I know personally I got hit quite a few times. I ended up being pretty sore at the end, but nothing nasty, just Hills Rangers go out hard because they're a great team, and we knew that they would, but we were told to go harder, and I think we did. So yeah, credit to all the girls, really.
Yeah, Hills Rangers, like throughout the year, had been one of our favourite teams to play, because they played like a similar way that to what we do. So although like there weren't many goals, it was going from end to end, which was like definitely fun and like probably very stressful for Liz in the back line whenever it ended up there, and then it would switch back up to ours. So it was a good game.
I know this is going to sound a silly question to ask, but were you surprised at all that you end up versing Hills?
Not surprised to verse them, but definitely surprised that we beat them. It probably sounds really bad to say, but like they had been dominating all season. No joke. They've been, I think before going into the grand final, they hadn't scored less than 4 goals in any game. So I think we just went in there so stoked that we made it. We knew that Hills Rangers would be the top of the ladder, and we knew we'd face them, but we didn't expect to come away with the win, but I'm so stoked we did. So it was good.
Yeah, so like I'd never seen this happen in like a season of football before, but Hills Rangers actually came in to the final series with a percentage of 1,428% or something towards that. So they had been like dominating, and we were like pretty scared to play against them, but we knew that it would at least be a good game based on like the one we had earlier in the year.
Now, you have done something that not many teams can achieve in football. I think is like very few teams can do this, but you've been a team that went through the whole year undefeated and fallen short. Of course, the team that you beat fallen short on the last hurdle to make it a perfect season. How good was it to be the team to destroy the perfect season?
So good. Okay. Felt bad for the Hills Rangers girls, but they're such a lovely opponent. So like they were happy for us. But yeah, like I said, still can't believe it, but it was good.
Yeah, something that adds to the story a little bit as well was that last year the reserves team at City Beach actually didn't win a game. So to go from no wins last year as well to like making it to the grand final and even winning the grand final, like that was pretty exciting as well.
When did you all felt that the game was won?
After our second goal was scored, probably. So we scored 2
Yeah.
goals in 5 minutes of each other in the fourth quarter. They were the only 2 goals that we scored the whole game. And I think even after the first goal, I thought, you know what, we could actually do this, because the majority of the game had ended up in our half, and all us girls were just getting better and better and better. And I think we had rattled them by then. So I was like, yeah, I think we can actually do this. This is exciting.
Yeah.
When the final siren went, how was it like? Was it a relief, or was there tears? Did anyone like cry just in disbelief what you've achieved, especially to go from 3/4 of not scoring anything to scoring 2 goals to win the game?
I don't know.
I don't think there was tears, but there was definitely like a lot of excitement and a lot of jumping. I would say more than tears.
I don't think anyone had a chance to cry, because everyone just kind of jumped on each other at some point. I thought I would, because I was already a bit emotional leading into the game, because I was so proud of all the girls. But no, I think it was just ecstatic. Everybody was so excited. There were tears on the other side. I felt bad for them for a little bit, but it was good fun. But yeah, and everyone was just so happy.
Both of you being co-captains, and now I can officially say this, both of you being Premiership co-captains of the team. How does that sound?
Sounds pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I was so proud of the girls. Like I said, this is my first year being a co-captain of the club. I only joined the club last year, so to be able to have an opportunity to lead, but also lead a premiership side is kind of, I don't know, a little feather in the cap. Has been really nice. So yeah, and the kind of girls that we got in our team, it's just been an absolute pleasure to captain, especially alongside Em, who's been the cool, calm cucumber one, who gives like the best speeches, and I'm the one that rattles off randomly things. Yeah.
No, not at all. I think like Liz said it, that she's kind of like the mum captain, and then I'm like the quieter captain. But it was like, yeah, an absolute pleasure as well to see, like, I think like how much we improved. The first game of the season, first game ever, and they barely knew the rules, through to the end of the season where like everyone knew each other's names, and we were having so much fun playing together.
Yeah, I think about half the team were new to the sport this season, and they were like, well, we've peaked now, so
yeah.
no need to go on. Yeah.
Who of either of you got to hold the Premiership Cup first?
It was a Premiership flag.
Sorry, it was a flag too, wasn't it? Sorry. I just looked at the team photo and went, oh yeah, that's right, it's a flag. Okay, well, who managed to hold the flag first?
I don't know. Em, do you remember?
No, I think it's all Gemma's really. So because she's the coach.
Yeah, so she was the one that got presented with the flag, and I think when we went for the team huddle, I just like barged my way in there, and I was like, I want to hold the flag. So I think I'm in the middle, and I think the photo of the very first photo is me kind of like barged my way into the middle. But so maybe me, I think, out of Em's too light.
Yeah, probably, but.
Now, of course, both of you are wearing your medals, and obviously you're playing top from the grand final. Number one, how was the celebrations afterwards at the club rooms? And number two, how long did both of you wear that medal around your neck, and did you wear it to bed?
We all went down to watch two of our men's teams were actually playing off in finals. So we got to carry on the celebrations by watching them and hoping that they got in. But yeah, I wore it from the moment that I got it until the moment I went to bed. Didn't sleep in it. Didn't want it to get like stuck anywhere. But anyways, yeah. But now the celebrations were really, really fun. The club put on a tab for us at the club bar, and yeah, it was nice. And all the girls, not just our team, but the league side also came down to kind of celebrate with us, which was really nice as well. It was good.
Yeah. So I was I was more forgetful than Liz, and I actually left my medal at home in between like getting changed and heading to the club after the game. So I was medalless for like the best part of the afternoon until I ended up wearing one of the spare ones at the sort of drinks afterwards for the rest of the night.
Did you manage to give back that spare medal?
Yeah, so the the spare medal is for one of the girls who was up at a wedding in Geraldton for the actual game. So I'll pass that on to her.
Okay.
When she gets back.
That's good. Now, tell us a bit about how special was this team this year?
Oh, so special, in my opinion. I said it every single week. I think every single week in the huddle, I said, I'm so unbelievably proud of this team. Everybody just enjoys coming down and playing. And every single week was like, regardless of whether we win or lose, we're just going to go out there and have some fun. And every break was just laughs. And, you know, as much as everybody wanted to win, I think everybody just enjoyed each other's company so much. And I feel like that was part of the special bond that we all created in the team, is that we just kind of built each other up so much. Like there was no, like on the field, we were never that team to yell at each other, except for maybe me a little bit when I was telling everybody to get out of the pack. But yeah, no, they were just such a great bunch of girls. And we have quite a few girls who are from interstate. So we've basically kind of like formed this little footy family for them. And yeah, no, it's been, yeah, they're really special and improved so much throughout the season. So it's been so good to see.
Yeah, I think like another special thing, maybe not just about like the team that we played with on the weekend, but like sort of the bigger group of girls that all play footy down at West Coast, is that, so we've got two teams, one in the A division, one in C division. And I think that everyone sort of in the teams gets along with each other. To the point as well, whereas if you've got like a friend and they're kind of saying like, oh, maybe I want to have a go at football, you'd be more than happy to invite them down, and everyone would sort of get around them and introduce themselves, and be happy to like have a kick and teach them a few things here and there. So that's like another thing which I think is special about like the team or the club, like the women's teams together. Yeah,
because we're like, I found that having the A grade girls integrated with us at training, it meant that we as a C grade side, we were developing because we were always playing and training against that really high level skill as well. And they were so supportive of us, like in all of the finals games as well. So like we always say, we're like one team, we're just in two divisions kind of. So yeah, real special.
For both of you, how did both of you get involved in footy and why did you choose it?
Em, you can go first in this one.
So I didn't plan on playing football. My sister started while I was away on exchange, and she was also playing with one of my best friends. And when I got back sort of like halfway through the season, I hadn't seen either of them in so long, so I decided I'd just come to training and run laps, because I didn't think football was a very good idea, because like I'm on the smaller side and I just get like tackled to the ground within 3 seconds. But like after a bit, I sort of started to join in the drills, decided it was pretty fun, and then didn't play last season until like the last 5 games, when I decided like I wanted to have a crack, and then played like the full season this year, and just ended up really liking it, not having expected to, but that's how I ended up playing.
For me, I started playing when I lived in Melbourne. So I lived there for a couple of years, and part of like moving into state, it's, very hard to find, a new social clique of people, having lived in Perth for the majority of my life. And then someone asked me, one of my friends played for South Melbourne Football Club, and asked me to come down and play, and I joined them. And it's been 3 years since I started playing, and it was amazing. It's a different style of football in Melbourne, but I was also working for an all-boys school in Melbourne, which was very footy mad. So the fact that I was playing football gave me a few credit in front of the boys. But and I just never went back. I was a netballer before that, and now I've just given up netball and I just do footy. So yeah.
Now, Liz, you just mentioned about that Melbourne team, of course, who I've actually done a lot of interviews with the last couple of years in South Melbourne districts. Now, of course, they actually promoted your your win, your premiership win on the weekend. I guess how special is that to see them still following your progress over there in the West?
Oh, it was so lovely. Like Hannah from the Bloods, she reached out to me and said, "Is it okay for me to post?" And I was like, so touched by the fact that they still, considered me part of the team, even though I hadn't been there for a while. And it was nice because that's where the love of football began with them. And the fact that they were willing to kind of, I don't know, live through me was like really nice. And I sent them all my well wishes as well. With my like reposts and stuff, but yeah, it was really lovely from them. Yeah.
Now, I'm going to skip the question I'm going to ask about highlights because obviously the premiership is the ultimate. So I'm going to skip that question completely. What does the sport of football mean to both of you, and now especially now being there at the West Coast Tigers?
I think like the thing that I love most about playing like at West Coast Tigers specifically is that we've got like such a different group of girls all coming down to play together. So we've got like all different ages from 18 all the way up to like sort of 35 in the same team, and who spend their days doing all different things. And so my favorite part of football, I guess, I know that's not directly answering the question, is that it's an opportunity to do that like 3 times a week. And like I hope that that's how it is at all the other clubs, but like I know that it's definitely like that for me at West Coast.
I guess for me, I'm one of the older girls of the club, and growing up, I never really had, there was never a league kind of like the Perth League or how big it is now, or even what I experienced in Melbourne. And for me, always having loved football, and never really having a place to go and play where you didn't have to be like the top of the top, but you could still go and play and have fun. I know I found finding that place within football at a later age has been so special because it made me feel a part of history, like women's history specifically, and the idea that this is kind of like a movement. And I'm also a teacher, and I've coached, and I'm kind of getting into the coaching side of footy now too, and not seeing too many female coaches, and the fact that we have so much talent coming up through the divisions, and a lot of that coming from West Coast too, and seeing so many of the young girls of the West Coast team just really loving their football and being so passionate about it. I know for me, probably heading towards retiring as such. I don't know. I know, no, maybe a few more years, see how the body holds up. But I don't know, I just found it so special to just be part of that history of the expansion of women's football throughout Australia. So yeah, and especially at West Coast, which has been so supportive, and the men's teams are so amazing in terms of getting down, offering their time to help set up, and being on the sidelines and cheering and getting around and supporting. That's what makes West Coast so special. There's no divide between the men's and females teams. They're just, everybody is about the club, and that's also what's really special about West Coast.
Now, for anyone that should get down next year for the 2021 season, they're at West Coast Tigers. How can they go about, and what will be your advice to them to come down and have a go in the sport?
Down. So I think if you like search the sort of like Facebook page up and you message it, you will get a pretty quick reply. I think that if you're on the fence, it's definitely worth coming down and having a go, because we've got lots of girls who come down even just to try it for a couple of weeks. If you end up not liking it, that's fine. You're not locked in. But if you end up really liking it and wanting to have a go, then you've had that shot, and like there'll be a group of people there ready to like show you the next steps.
Yeah, it's like I said, just come down, even because both Em and I have been new to the club, not been part of the original girls, and coming down, you just automatically get accepted into the group. It's, it's pretty special in that respect, that everybody gets to know your name immediately, and you get involved, but there's no pressure whatsoever. It's just more about coming down and having some fun. Yeah,
and like most girls like don't know how to handball, don't know how to kick when they first come. So if you're worried about that, that's like absolutely not something that you should be worrying about.
Girls come down and they don't actually know how good they are until they come down and they're actually amazing.
Yeah.
And you might as well tell us whereabouts is your home ground.
It's in
So
City
it's
Beach.
like
Yeah.
so it's like 200 meters back from the beach. So we're pretty lucky with that. In summer, definitely when we're doing preseason stuff, there'd be like swims afterwards, which is always good.
Beautiful sunsets at training too, because it's just like right over the beach. But yeah, City Beach Oval. If anyone was to look for where we are, it's if you just Google City Beach Oval, it will pop up. So we're pretty fortunate to have the amazing grounds that we do.
Now, of course, let's finish off with a couple of lighthearted questions about your teammates. Now, any embarrassing moments by anyone on your team on the field?
So when we played in North, this team called North Beach, who unfortunately were struggling to field a team half the time. So we were pretty much dominating the game. And one of our backliners, Maddie, she did this amazing go into the pack, and she's like twirled out of the pack, and then she sprints out and kicks the ball 40 meters, but in the opposite direction. It was one of her biggest kicks that I've ever seen her do. But and it almost looked like she was trying to switch it up slightly, but no one but kicked it way too far. But basically we kept saying it's okay, up the back line, we needed to have a run anyways, which I mean sounds really bad for North Beach, but it was and I don't think she's ever let it down. I wrote it in her little spiel, but whoopsie. Never mind.
Now, who's the comedian in the team?
Probably Mitz.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one of our backliners, Jess Mitz. She's just like the bundle of energy who just talks so much, just not even crap. She just anything that she says just comes across as funny because she's just got this cheeky grin on her face all the time. But yeah, who else would be hilarious? I don't know. Mitz is the first one that comes to mind.
Yeah, Mitz is the first one that comes to mind. And then I think if you get some pairs of girls and they sort of bounce off each other, and that can be funny as well.
Yeah, sure.
Best singer and dancer in the team?
Like dancer based off Saturday night, I think goes to Amber.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, so based off Saturday night, dancer goes to Amber. And singer, I haven't heard many people sing.
No, only in this, like, I guess, like, if you're just going to go by sheer volume, probably like Jessie Knox, only because she's the one that does all the chants for us in our huddles. But, you know, we don't really sing around each other than screaming, really, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Now, do either of you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
Ooh, I don't know. Em, do you have one?
Not really. I have the same breakfast, but that's pretty boring. So nothing too exciting.
Oh, I don't know. I'm more like I have to make sure that I've got this, like, the same pair of socks. Like I wear double the socks for every game, and then it can't be any, like, the other pair of socks that I wear underneath my footy socks has to be the same every week. So yeah, that's about it. Nothing really. And then we always have to listen to TikTok on the way out. They became an unofficial anthem for us, like TikTok by Keisha, not the app. But okay. Yeah, it would always end up being on before we like led out to the game. So it ended up being the song that I requested before we did our final. So, but that's just me.
Oh, you just answered my question about team pump-up songs. So I'll move on to the next one. Is there any players we should watch out for in your team in the future?
I would say Chelsea.
I would say Chelsea, yeah. So Chelsea had she got our best on the weekend. So she played really well. It's her first year. She's sort of like not swapped over, but also started playing alongside playing soccer. And then I
reckon Jess' career in the ruck.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's her first ever season playing as well. And she absolutely dominated in the ruck. She like never was subbed off. She just consistently ran and ran and ran. Only tall person in our team. So she was the only person that could really actually do it. But I just, you know, if she continues with the sport, I think she'll actually make it into the league potentially. So that would be good.
Now, it'll be amiss of me to finish off this question by asking you about your amazing Premiership coach, Gemma. Tell us how special has she been throughout the season, and especially I'm assuming you got not just Gemma, but obviously the rest of the other coaches that played their role throughout the 2020 season.
So we've got 3 main coaches who work with both of the women's teams, and that they are Gemma, who's sort of in charge of the reserves, Damo, who's in charge of league, and Tao, who sort of like helps out between the teams. And I think that they're like very, very giving of their time, not only to all of us as a group, but also like individual players if they need something to work on. But Gemma specifically, so she not only coaches us, but she coaches like a juniors team, and she also plays. So I think she's like Liz mentioned before, that there's not many female coaches in football at the moment. So I think something like pretty incredible about Gemma is that she's one of the first, I think we figured out she was like the first female coach to win a premiership in the amateur league in WA, which is pretty cool. And that she also plays and like works with the younger ones as well is like really special.
Yeah, Gemma is, I was going to say the exact same point, one of the few female coaches that we see on the sidelines, and it's so special to be part of a team that gets to be coached by Gemma. But apart from that, just her style of coaching is something that is, you know, she models best practice for everybody in our team who is aspiring to become a coach, and myself included. Just the way that she gives those really clear messages about, you know, this is the 3 things we're going to do this game. And, you know, this is what I want from each person. And never, ever loses her cool. It's just like a calm and collected message throughout, and just consistently has that belief that regardless of the scoreline that we were going to get there. And then like definitely Damo and Tao have contributed a lot as well. Like Damo runs Monday trainings, and he is bad to say he's a veteran of the game. He's just been playing for a while. And yeah, he's amazing. And he's just became a new father himself, so first time father. And immediately one of the posts that he put into the chat leading into our grand final was this like adorable little message, and I was like, oh, he's already acting like a father, he's so cute. But you know, it's really nice. Both coaches contribute so well, and Tal as well, which is fantastic.
Well, both of you, thank you so much for giving up your time to join us. It's awesome to interview a Premiership team. First one this year that we've ever interviewed a Premiership team. So you're the first one that we've had on the show, and we're so happy that we've done it this year. And obviously, congratulations, well-deserved, hard-fought game. And of course, you beat the undefeated team along the way to get there to that ultimate glory. And celebrate whatever the rest of it is with obviously I'm assuming you got presentation nights soon as well. Celebrate the year. It was a well-deserved year, and can't wait to hopefully maybe come over there next year and see all you back in action in 2021 to try to defend the title.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thanks for having us and for your time as well.
No worries. And that's Liz and Em there, of course, co-captains of the West Coast Tigers, of course, Premiership team. Of course, if you want to get involved and you're in Perth, of course, we'll put all the details on how you can go about getting involved there at the West Coast Tigers. There's more on the Smash Board Show right after this. Don't go away here on Lockdown Wednesday.